Hello, you guys. So, one of you guys sent me this in the DMs, and I have to read it. I have to. This is from Miriam or Miriam, whatever. Miriam, the one that left. Hi, friends. It is with mixed emotions that I announce I'm no longer associated with Fab Fatties or Charlotte Plus. So, this was deeper than just the podcast. Due to personal and professional differences, yeah, I think it's personal. I really think she didn't like him. Sorry, I'm going to just react as I read it. I don't think she liked him. I guess I'll just read it. Okay, I'm already alphabet today. I just woke up. I woke up and I'm ready to fly. Due to personal and professional differences, I've chosen to step away. I encourage each and every one of you to do what is best for your own peace and sanity. I will continue to support Fat community and tell my story. I'm looking forward to doing so in a safe space where my voice and opinion is actually appreciated. Oh my God. I'd like to remind my fellow introverts that just because someone else's voice is louder doesn't mean that your voice isn't worthy of being heard. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to break. Okay, let's just read the whole thing and then I'll react piece by piece. Sorry. I cannot control myself today. I can't contain it. I just can't. Surround yourself with people who see that and appreciate you for who you are. Don't ever let someone else's insecurities take away from who you are. That's all for now. I'm fat, I'm fab, and I'm currently accepting friendship applications. XOXO, Miria. I'm gonna break it down. Hi, friends. It is with mixed emotions that I announce I'm no longer associated with Fab Fatties or Charlotte Plus. So like I said, I think that that's more than personal. Like it's personal because she would still be in the fat group. But she literally said it was personal. So this part, this is so shady. I'm looking forward to doing so in a safe space where my voice and opinion is actually appreciated. So I have a feeling this is my witchcraft, okay? I have a feeling that Allie was too controlling. That Allie wanted things exactly the way that she wanted, and I think it rubbed her the wrong way often. Because I could see, like, in what we're reacting to, she's really irritated and bored. And I think that she thinks that she can hide how she feels, but she can't. Like, she's an emotional girly pop. I'd like to remind my fellow introverts that just because someone else's voice is louder doesn't mean that your voice isn't worthy of being heard. So this kills me. This kills me because they're all introverted on that podcast. All of them. Just because Allie is like slightly more extroverted doesn't mean that she's not introverted. Like she's super introvert cringe, like totally unrealistic. Like no offense to my fellow introverts, but we know it when we see it. We know an introvert that isn't eating. We know an introvert that is off or like kind of delulu, out of touch, not in reality, etc. And if Allie has like cut everyone out of her family and like all this stuff, like I've heard that a lot from you guys. Like she's definitely also introverted. I'm sorry, like extroverts don't just do that. They don't. So that's just so cringy to me. I'm like, ugh. I mean, she's probably just like terminally introverted or she's like super, super, super. But she talks a lot. Like I looked at some of her posts and she's just very depressed and stuff. So she's probably just like depressed introvert or like she's depressed on top of it. But anyways, Allie's voice is not even that loud is all I'm trying to say. It's like she's pretty introverted. They all are. So that's kind of cringe. Surround yourself with people who see that and appreciate you for who you are. Don't ever let someone else's insecurities take away from who you are. Well, I could see Allie doing that. I think it's Allie. I really do. I just feel it. I feel like Allie is the most insecure. So that's what I think. But I think that there were some people who, let's see. Sorry to hear about the podcast. I enjoyed it, but I wish everyone happiness. I'm going to fill out a friend app too. I'm Texas, so we can still be buddies. Don't forget the beautiful in the end description of who you are. Cheesy. I love you four together. I thought you all brought different life experiences. Wishing you the best of luck and still love to see what you're up to. P.S. I want to be your friend. Just continue being who you are because you are amazing and your voice should be heard. Okay. It's pretty positive. You were the sunshine of the show. I'm not seeing that. Looking forward to whatever you do next. Sending all the good vibes. So all I saw that she was doing is she was like dancing a lot to Paramore and stuff. Which I didn't, I guess she's a super Paramore fan. Like I was too, like in high school. They just waited too long. They waited too long and I shifted to Taylor. They took too long between album cycles. That's what it was. Y'all took too long. Taylor swooped in. Anyways. Always here if you want to chat. So sorry you had to go through this. I'll be the first to say you were the only reason I paid attention to the show. So it's their loss. Big time because you were the show. I don't see that. Right now, all I'm seeing is Allie is like in control of everything. So sorry to hear this happen, but things happen for a reason and we learn a lot looking back when we get some distance. Good that you're advocating for yourself and making sure you're in a space where you feel heard and respected. This news makes me sad. I enjoyed seeing you with the four Fab Fatties and was looking forward to all about Maria segment, but I understand that you have to do it as best for you. Yeah, people get disappointed with stuff like that. Interesting. It definitely seems like it was personal. Oh my God. Friendship applications. You think you need an application in order to be called a friend or seek to be friends with someone else? Oh my gosh. Yeah, people were just sad. These comments were hidden because they might be offensive. Should we look at it? Oh, I don't know. It's in a different language. Anyways, let's go ahead. Let's go. You ready for part 2?
Oh, like this is just beginning. This is just beginning. You know, if you're gonna be, I thought
Let me go back a little
about
bit.
Commentary about me that's so negative, and joining in on it. And I think that was harder for me than Joe Schmo talking about me. And I was like, ooh, what? I didn't have an emotional reaction. I don't like to feel my feelings. I don't like to feel my feelings. But I was distracted.
She might be the lone thinker of the group. She might be. I'm so into MBTI right now. I'm really cheesy. But she might actually be a thinker. I think she is. I think she is. They're all feelers, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Look at her face. She was not happy. I think she's just bored. Honestly, I think she's bored as hell. I think she doesn't like the girls.
You know, and I think that bothers me. It bothers me that it took my attention and focus. It bothers me that I felt anxiety about it because who knew where I was going to go. I saw how much the viral Instagram had gone. And it did feel like that robbed me of something. It robbed me of my attention that day with my students. It robbed me of just peace of mind. Yeah, and so that.
But you allowed it to, and you have to acknowledge that you allowed it to, you know. And I understand. Sorry, I'm trying to get my coffee in. I'm one of those where I'm like, I have to like drink coffee before I'm a human or whatever. I'm one of those hypo girly moment. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying, like, you allowed that. You did. You allowed it to ruin your day. 1 second. I'll be right back. That person made a comment. It probably took them like 5 minutes or something, and then they didn't think about it the rest of the day. Or whatever. Or maybe Alan did it. I don't know. Whatever she's talking about. Sorry, I'm not angry this morning. I'm not. So I think nature is healing. I do. I'm just really dramatic and extra. Like, I'm very alpha. I do need to go to the gym tonight. Like, I need that dopamine hit bad. I can tell. But I always go Sunday. But I'm like, something has changed within me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to get all into that. But that's how I feel. Definitely.
Me, and yet I know, like, this is just beginning. This is just beginning. You know, if you're going to be... I talked to them about, like, why has this not happened in the past? I think it's because I just posted pictures of myself online. I haven't really, like, put out a bunch of fat acceptance messages.
Yeah, because you're not actually doing anything activistic and you're not saying anything controversial, and people are not that overtly fat phobic as you act like. So if you're just living your life, people aren't going to say things. When you start lying and doing all this stuff and start pushing messages and taking activistic positions, of course you're going to have people against what you say. I've had people against what I say too, but I don't get it as much on YouTube because YouTube is very anti-FA. I'm sure you guys are not surprised. But if I was on TikTok, oh honey, I'd just probably get full of hate. That's it. You know, it's time and place too. And then as I told you guys, I think Instagram is just hateful anyways, honestly. Like, if you say any kind of a point, somebody's going to have a problem. Unless if you just look good and that's it, then you're going to be fine. But it's like...
in it, or put out content where I'm actively talking about fat bodies. You know, I'm talking about myself, but maybe not using the word fat. And I think that's what really pissed him off, is that we were not feeling ashamed about being fat.
It's because of the points that you were making. That's what it is. Because, like, Rebecca especially, I don't feel like she's a super inflammatory person, or, like, when she's just living her life or when she's just talking, she's not, like, she doesn't have that kind of edginess that, like, Ally has. Where Ally, I could see, she's really annoying. Like, she can be really, really annoying to people. Like Maria, I don't really have to learn how to pronounce her name because she's not on here anymore, but she cannot stand Ally, I'm sure. I feel it in my soul. I feel it. I don't know. I feel like that's what it was. Because Ally's really annoying. Or she could be really annoying. And I think, you know, I'm somebody where I have worked with people on YouTube, or, like, I've done collabs and things like that. Like, I've done group projects and stuff online and filmed, and, you know, I've done things like that in a lot of different contexts. And it can be really irritating sometimes with people where it's like, if they're hyper controlling, it can be an issue. It can bother you, like, as a fellow creator. And again, they're all introverted, so they're not good to work with. I typically work with other extroverts. I'm not extroverted, but I typically work with extroverts because they're better to work with. And I'm sorry, you know, I have to be real. Like, I don't hate introverts or anything at all. And I have worked with them before and it's not an issue, but sometimes it can be really bad because introverts are like, sometimes have this approach of like, I'm in my own lane. I want this. This is my creative project. This is what I'm doing, which I can be that way myself, definitely. But it's like, I know how to work with others. Like, it's something I worked on, and I'm pretty good, actually, especially as an introvert. I'm pretty good at working with other people. But it's like, there's flexibility issues sometimes. There's, you know, I look at all the things behind it, and I just feel it in my soul that Ally was like, I want it at this time, this place, this, boom, boom, boom. And I think it probably irritated Maria. You know, because she's also in this phase, she's railroading the conversation too. Rebecca, I feel like she's not really like that. It's just sometimes she says things that are so dumb. Like when she did that video about like how she was upset that there wasn't enough representation or whatever. It was stupid, Rebecca. Like, what I wish she would have just said in that video, which I did react to it, I think back in like August or something like that. What she needed to just say, which this is Rebecca, like avoiding her feelings, is that she's exasperated. She's struggling financially And she's pissed, that she's willing to do certain activistic modeling or whatever. And she feels like it was all for nothing. And maybe she should have been trying to work for money. Maybe she just needs to do that. That's what I feel like it was really about. So I feel like with Rebecca, she's not actually a super annoying person probably to talk to or be around. It's just sometimes she makes dumb points because she's trying not to talk about the actual problem. And they all have a little bit of that. And you can see kind of their DIS ordered way of dealing with conflict or issues or whatever, because they all have issues with stating things directly. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. And I know it can be hard sometimes, for especially American women to just speak directly, but they're particularly bad. I'll put it to you that way. And I think it's to an extent that it may be part of their issue, part of their toxic ritualistic problem, because it's that bad. Like, they literally cannot. I mean, when I heard Maria, I'm so bad. If I'm saying her name wrong, I'm so sorry. But when she was talking for the one last time, she could barely speak. Like, her words were broken. Like, she couldn't even get the words out. It's like, it shouldn't be that hard to express yourself. I'm just going to be honest. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Introvert, extrovert, whatever. It shouldn't be that hard. Like, you're having issues.
That's where that's where my immediate reaction was to react. I immediately felt rage. The crying didn't come until actually yesterday.
Ooh,
I think
girl.
it was just
okay, a little bit of advice. Never say that you're crying. Because if you do, it actually just gives trolls more. Like, YouTube and stuff, they're like high school. It's like high school. So, but I think she wants more because she likes hate. So she's trying to incentivize it. That's my opinion.
It had been like 2 weeks of the viral Instagram reel and then this video, and it was just everything kind of piled on top of it. And then also just being very acutely aware of my friends' feelings and how everybody was doing as a group. And my immediate reaction was, I want to defend my friends. So everything that was said about Maria,
they all say that.
Alyssa, everything that was said about Rebecca, I'm like, well, no,
it's about them. Like, I'm sorry, I'm calling bullshit. It's not about your friends. It's about yourself. Like, let's be so for real.
This wrong, you have this wrong, you, and of course they don't care. They don't care. Like, exactly like you said, I would be wasting every single second that I would spend defending you guys because they don't care. All they care is about their narrative of fat is bad.
Well, and all you care about is just fighting. Because you would know that going in. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, this type of stuff, it doesn't work on me because I'm also a content creator, so I know how it works. When you fight with people online, it's because you want to. I told you guys yesterday, I try not to. I really do, but sometimes I just want to. Sometimes I'm being a bitch that day and I'm irritable. I'm irritable or whatever. Weight loss it's irritating. I don't know what else to say, and you guys have seen like all my mid-sized princess pictures, like they're all framed around like frustration and like stress and, these types of emotions. Like it's been tough this year. I'm not going to lie. Like the journey has weighed heavily on me, pun intended, this year. It's tough. But I do feel like I'm getting out of that, which thank God. But it's like, it's sometimes, throughout the process, it's like, it's just a lot. It's like I have a lot of hormones going on, like especially last year and 2023 especially. Like it was even worse in 2023. Except at that one, there was a lot of changes that made me extremely shy. So I actually stopped fighting like towards the summer of 2023. But it's like, there's a lot of fluctuations and stuff, and it's hard. It's hard to lose weight publicly for those reasons. But I did it anyways because I told you guys I was in a unique position to be able to do this. But there's so many. I could like do a video on why people don't do it, because there's a lot of reasons. Like, you have all these fluctuations, and it's tough. You're irritated. You know, like when I was mid, or I am mid now still, but in my mid-sized princess era, it's like I'm irritated with the actual process. It's irritating. You know, it's like it's getting exasperating. This is my 3rd year of like serious downsizing. It's tiring. And so it's like when I'm dealing with a hater or whatever, I still try not to deal with it, but sometimes you want to unload a bit. You want to just be like, fuck you, you know, because you're not happy. And that's them. They're not happy. So she just, you know, and Allie, she's not happy. I don't know if any of them are particularly happy. So they just wanted to all fight because it kind of gives you something to do. And for them, it gives them some kind of stimulation without going to the gym. You know, I don't have to do that stuff as much because I get a lot of that energy out at the gym. I really do. I really need to go today. You know, I can tell. I'm like, but I'm not like mad or anything. I'm just like really extra. You know, it's like I got to kind of burn through some of this energy that I have. But it's like they don't do that. So all they have is fighting online. That's their only like exertion or like way of getting that out. And it's like, I don't care if you're a woman, you also have that in you. We all do. It's a human thing to, you know, I'm a very feminine girly pop. You know, I say girly because I'm not a girl, but I'm girlish, you know, or girly kind of. I'm very femmy. It's like, but I have aggression too, just like you guys do. You all have it. It's like it is natural to have to lift weights or something, you know, or go to a rage room or something. I don't know. It's natural. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it is kind of like, in my opinion, there is a very unhealthy relationship with anger within the toxic ritualistic. It's very toxic. It's like you either have to go all in 1,000% or you can't show it at all. And it's like, that's not realistic. And I do think it is a particularly American woman thing, where it's like this huge issue to be angry at all. And it's like, it's not, but you need to be constructive and you need to also get the energy out. It's okay. You know, like that needs to change. That's specifically American, I think, because I don't think that's true in other countries. Like, women in other countries, they don't care that much about being angry. And maybe it is a millennial thing too. It could be a millennial woman thing, especially like maybe that's peak, like don't you ever be angry energy, but it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, they're all up in it. I can tell. It's not healthy. It's like you guys need to just go to the gym. You need to go to the gym. And Miriam, she was upset because somebody told her to go to the gym. Like when she was depressed, like in one of her recent dancing videos, she's like, somebody told me I need to go to the gym. And that comment used to bother me a lot, but it doesn't anymore because whatever, like fat phobia, da, da, da. It's like, honey, if you're really depressed, the gym might actually help you like over time. Like also downsizing will probably help you with your depression. It's like, you need to do something. Just do something. You know? It's okay. It's really healthy to like exert yourself or do something to get out some of that energy, especially, you know, because some women, they have more of that edge than others. And it's like, if you have that kind of edge as a woman, you need to express it too, because it's not healthy to constantly hold back or, you know, that kind of thing. It's like, you need to just get out that exertion. Otherwise, you're going to waste all your time fighting and stuff over nothing, because that's exactly what this is. You know, on a chemical level, fighting on the internet is dopamine mining. It's seeking stimulation of some sort, but it's not really productive. I don't judge people that do it during a weight loss journey. I talked about it, in my bra era, like there are going to be ways where people dopamine mine. And I think it can be useful in addition to everything else you're doing. I still think you need to go to the gym. And, I was saying go to the gym, have some caffeine every day, like do certain things. But if you need to fight online too, then do it. But you still have to be doing the other basic things. And in my opinion, lifting weights is like the biggest thing in terms of these dopamine issues. That's my opinion, which, people can get upset about that. But the point is, you have to like stimulate. It's about stimulation. Your body feels something, or like something's happening when you lift or when you're active. It's like, okay, we're moving, something's going on. Like, you have to engage with your body. It's not healthy not to. And I speak as somebody who used to never. I never used to. I completely neglected my body. And it was horrible for me. So I'm speaking from experience. I am somebody that never took it seriously, never thought about it. You need to do it. Engage with your body.
And this, whatever they're selling is
performing
good,
shame.
right? And so it's so eye-opening to me, because their biggest issue with us is not actually that we're fat. It's that we're not ashamed to be fat. It's that they can't make us hate ourselves. And trust me,
I don't care that if you hate yourself or not. I don't care. That has nothing to do with why I do these. For me, it's more so like it's a teachable moment. You guys are like very flopped. You're very floppified. Honestly, you guys are flopping in general. Which, a flop is not necessarily a loser. A flop is not a failure. Like, well, it is kind of a failure, but you get what I'm saying. A flop is somebody who's trying and not quite doing it. So it's like you guys are trying, but you're like Magikarping. So to me, it's like it's a teachable moment to be like, oh, look at these girls. Don't flop like them. Because it's like if you guys would just make certain adjustments, you probably wouldn't flop anymore. But you don't. You refuse to. You dig in your heels. You do the same thing. And go ahead, I guess. It's your life. But I'm still going to use you as a teachable moment for others. That's it.
I wasted a lot of my life hating myself and thinking I could hate myself smaller, thinking I could hate myself happier, all of these things. And now that I've done the work to realize, like,
have
I can
you
already grab happiness? I don't have to wait until I'm in a different body. I don't have to wait until I'm in a different status in life, like whatever. I don't have to wait for the weight. That I can be happy right now. There are people both outside of our community and, unfortunately, I don't want to.
You can do more than one thing at a time. I think that's a big thing with toxic ritualistic too, is they're like, if I'm downsizing, I can't do anything else in my life. And it's like, I get it from a super morbidly obese perspective. It has to be your top priority. It takes a lot of energy and it's difficult. But that part of the journey, no matter how long it lasts, it doesn't last forever. You will make it to just morbid. And when you become morbid, you don't have to just focus on that. Things change. So your average person hears that and they're like, what? Because most people don't have to completely stop their life to lose. And even when I was super morbid, I didn't have to stop everything in my life. I did have to focus on it though. It was like a major focus. And especially in 2023, like I did have to kind of dive in deep that year and deal with it. But I still lived. I still made plans. I still launched my activism. I still just worked to establish myself and do all these things. I did a lot of work and research, and I did a lot of stuff that year. I dealt with a lot of personal issues. I looked at what I wanted in a relationship. Like these are things, like it was a more reflective year, but reflection is still something. You know, it's not nothing. You know, I'm very introvert pride, you know. It's like I do think withdrawal or reflection is useful. And that's something that some extroverts could benefit from. And that year was a very reflective year for me. But it was still productive. It was very productive. I learned how to separate myself from my illnesses and these types of things. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it. And obviously, really in 2024, if you look at that year, like the way I started it versus how I finished it, I was in a completely different physical reality by the end of 2024. Completely different. I mean, I wouldn't say that I thrived in 2024, but I made huge strides in 2024. And I got a lot of shit done because I wasn't super morbid anymore. I didn't have to just focus on that. And even in that phase, I still was like working on finances and, practical concerns within super morbid. But I was able to be more social in 2024. I was able to like take things to the next level. So it's like all that work set a firm foundation. And then all that work in 2024 with that new physical reality that I'm in, I have done very well in 2025, especially physically, socially, all these different things. It hasn't always been fun, but I have not suffered. I've just been mid. I haven't suffered though. I haven't failed. I've flopped. I've had a lot of flops this year, but I have not. It's always been mid. Mid is not the bottom, That's all. You build off of one year to the next. That's what you should do.
At least in our community, because I don't think that they see themselves that way. But there are people of all shapes and sizes who don't agree with us, that feel that we should be ashamed, and that we should...
Shame isn't productive.
That we shouldn't be promoting any kind of joy, because what they see is, oh, you're just promoting being fat. You want people to be fat. We just want people to be happy.
It's like you're not
That's
allowed.
A lie.
It's not the same, but one of the things I thought about is like when people get mad, there's like a gay couple on TV, like, oh, they're shoving it in our faces, and I'm like, it's almost like we're shoving our fatness in their faces.
It's like,
if we
I think it's just that what you guys want probably is you just want to feel less judged or something like that. That's what I think it is, which you can create a life like that in private. You can't really do that publicly. And even in private, you're still going to have some judgment. I mean, you could always ally it, I guess, and just cut everyone out, basically. But I don't think that that's productive either. But that's what I think it is. Like, they just don't want to feel, like, trashed for who they are or whatever. But it's, like, a lot of that stuff, it comes from inside the house. Most people are just in their own lanes. And you have to just get over that, I don't know what else to say, which they don't like that. They don't like it when you say you have to get over it, but you do. You just do. Because what are you going to do? Just be so upset that somebody doesn't like you, that you're not going to live? That's stupid.
If we hid away, if we did not put ourselves out there, it'd be okay.
Yeah.
But because we dare.
Exactly.
No, that wouldn't
be
be okay
public.
either.
How?
Because then why aren't you out trying to lose the weight? Why aren't you
Sure.
trying to do anything?
They just wouldn't
But
pick
then
it.
if you also try and do those things,
There's no pleasing
then
them.
it's pointing and laughing and whatever else.
Yeah.
There's no winning. Period.
So that's where I got to the I guess the climax for me was the emotion.
That's not true. That's just defeatist. I think the winning is getting your health back or getting somewhere, getting your life back. That's the winning. Not dancing and saying I'm depressed every single day. That's the winning. Because, and I've talked a lot about like revenge and stuff like that. And I'm very much one of those people where it's like, I think success is the best revenge. I think me being happy or me being at a good place or whatever, or getting to a place of thriving, which is what comes after mid, you know? When I get there, that's my ultimate revenge. It's like using that anger or whatever to build yourself up or to build up your goals or to get through something so that you can be happy, you know, and you kind of get there. And that's kind of where I feel right now. I feel like I'm reaching a point of satisfaction, which it could be hormonal. You know, I've had a lot of shifts recently, but it's like, I'm very satisfied. There are times when, this is so gay to say and it makes me want to die, but I'm going to tell you guys. There are times when I listen to Long Live by Taylor Swift, which my Swifties will know that song. It's like her tour song and it's really gay. It's so gay. It is like one of the gayest songs ever. I just have to say that. But she sings and stuff about like how we got our trophy and we held it up for our town and stuff like that. And like, I cry thinking about you guys or thinking about the channel. And I'm like, oh my God, I did so much. Like, we did so much together. Like, literally, like, I almost feel like tearing up right now just thinking about it, which I'm not going to do because, oh, gosh. But no, like, sometimes I cry, like, out of joy or, like, out of happiness because I feel so accomplished. And it's like, long live the walls we crashed through. You know, I had the time of my life fighting dragons with you. It's like, I've had the time of my life doing this. Like, genuinely. So, oh gosh, that is really gay. I am not trying to do this right now. I shouldn't have thought about it. But the point is, like, I get emotional, but like positively emotional sometimes because I'm just so like happy and proud of what I've accomplished and what I've accomplished with you guys on this channel and all this stuff. And it just fills me with such joy. And so I don't think as much about revenge is what I'm trying to say. Like, I think more about that now because I'm kind of over it, you know? Like, I feel like I'm breaking through. So it's like, I'm just really happy. And I'm really happy I didn't give up. You know, like, there's just all these different feelings. And I've just really enjoyed this, you know? So it's like, that's the kind of stuff I'm starting to think about, which, you know, you just let it happen.
Just like of like everything. And then I also did I felt really bad because I sent Rebecca the link in our group chat, and I am extremely protective of you.
I was gonna
and we
speak
know
to
that.
that.
And we'll talk about that, and I'll let you talk about that. But then I was very hard on myself because yes, Rebecca and I have been doing this for a while, so we're used to being a little bit more in the public eye, I guess, or at least in the internet's public eye. I don't know. And we also know that Maria, even being, you know, sunshine and rainbow, she has this white hot rage behind those pretty eyes of hers.
Is she sunshine and rainbows? Because I haven't seen any. Are they in the room with us? Because all I see is like a cold, dark cloud. Or I don't even know. It's like a whiteout. It's like you step outside and there's just so much snow you can't even see anything. That's what I see when I see her. There's nothing there. It's like, it's just cold. That's what I feel.
Hers, and like we know that beyond a shadow of a doubt, like she will hurt someone. I think we all just have this like very much like, Alyssa's so new to this and so new to the internet, and like we must protect her at all costs. So I was very much like,
she's not ready.
Oh my God, I have failed as your protector.
Oh.
She's not ready. She still isn't ready. She doesn't have the strength. I'm going to keep saying it. Like, I just did a reaction on my members only to them, like, they went shopping or whatever. And she said that she couldn't sleep because she was worried about the topic they were going to talk about the next day. I'm like, girl, you cannot do this. That is crazy. And I don't mean crazy like she's nuts. I'm just saying, like, you clearly are not healed enough. I'm going to keep saying it. She isn't.
I'm so sorry.
No, I mean, for me, I would definitely want to, like, speaking to the experience, right? Answering Rebecca's original question. The first
But
thing
I do
wanted
think that
to say was,
I can understand them wanting to be protective towards her because she, in my opinion, she's the sweetest of them. So I can understand that feeling, but it's like, if she's sweet and sensitive and all this stuff, like, should she be doing it if she's not ready? If she starts crying immediately whenever you talk about something, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I wouldn't feel right about working with her. I just personally wouldn't. Because it's tough. It is tough. You know, especially if you're an activist and stuff. Like, it can get hard sometimes.
I am surrounded by 3 warriors who, at the slightest negative comment, have been jumping in and deleting and trolling and responding, and I very much have felt protected from a majority of it. I think, too, you know, for me, seeing an Instagram comment of someone telling me that, like, I'm fat and I'm ugly, I'm gonna die, and all, I'm like, oh, okay. Right? Someone was like, what does your doctor think of this? And I was like, want me to add her? Like, shout out Dr. Everett, like, she's my girl. You know? Like, me and her are Instagram friends. I'll tag her in right now. Ask her yourself, you know? So I think there was a level to those where I was like, you have no effect, right? It's a delete and move on. The day the 26-minute video came out, genius idea, by the way. I don't know if I gave everyone enough credit, but the girls had created a second group chat. It was Maria.
Idea.
I love it. Maria created a second group chat called FFF Frustrations, and it's for the 4 Fab Fatties Frustrations. And it was the place where, if negative comment came out and you needed to rage about it, talk about it, it was in that group chat, so it wasn't popping up in the main group. Now, what an amazing concept. And if I would have taken more than 5 seconds to just open it up when I was at work and read the group chat backwards, I would have understood the YouTube link I was clicking on. But alas, I am dyslexic, and for some reason, I like to read backwards too.
And we love that about you.
I opened the link at work and I watched.
Yeah, so I heard that she works at the YMCA, I think, because I was curious and if she worked, because I couldn't tell. But she's very clearly, she does have a job. But I'm like, okay. And so one of you guys was like, I don't know if she works part-time or not. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Because it was just weird how she was like, I was up till 5 a.m. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I'm often up till 5 a.m., but that's just because I work for myself and I can choose my hours. And I'm crazy and I'm like going to the gym late at night. You know, like I'm trying to make everything work together. So when she was talking like that and just some of her attitude and stuff, I'm like, does she even like leave the house? You know, like honestly. But maybe she just doesn't internalize anything. I don't know. You know, maybe she kind of just blocks out the world in a way. Again, their psychology is really interesting to me. It really is. So if they want to say, oh, you're so obsessed with me, I don't care. I'm fascinated about certain things. So yeah, I just had to say that because I wasn't sure for a while just because how she acted. But she does. There's your evidence. She does work.
I let him say a couple things about me and I said, I think we're done here. And as I close out the link, I had a couple coworkers walking down the hallway and they looked at me and I just went, someone just posted a 26-minute
video just fat shaming us. And it must have been what I said, how I said it, but all of us just stood there with our jaws open and like at a complete loss of words. We just stood there in silence. Like, they did not know what to say. I did not know what to say. Frankly, I don't know why I shared it. I just was literally
She
like,
was upset, probably. Shock?
We processed.
I don't know. I mean, I can understand being surprised at, like, getting attention or things like that. But it's not, you know, when we're talking about social media and stuff, it's not exactly a bad thing. As people said forever, all press is good press. You know, which, again, if you don't have that mindset, which I'm not saying to just, like, do something crazy, to like rage bait and that kind of stuff. That can get really toxic. I don't agree with that. I don't do that personally. I don't. But there are a lot of people who do. I don't believe in that because it can get out of control. And like the type of audience you attract and stuff. Oh, I just messed that up. The type of audience you attract and stuff can be a huge issue. 1 second. Yeah, so all I'm saying is it's not exactly a bad thing to get attention or to get hate or whatever. Like, and in my opinion, shout out to Angelica, she handled like the call out of the other, you know, the fat activist girly when she tried to cancel Angelica. She handled it amazingly. And she used it very well. I was like, but girl knows social media. You know, Angelica wasn't new to it or anything. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's a part of it, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. But again, you have to be kind of strong. You have to. You have to have kind of a thicker skin or something. If you're a very emotional person, you have to have a thicker skin. If you're not as reactive, it can be easier for you, for sure, because you can just be strategic. But for me, I am reactive, so it's harder. But I can still do it because I can use the reaction in that sense, which I did it once. I've only had one of them try. I had the Fat Sapphic Bro tried to come after me because I was defending the Hidden Channel. I think that was in 2023. Or 2023. And Fat Sapphic Bro was trying to call me the Hidden Channel's gay pet and weird stuff like that. But I used it. And they never came after me again because I think they thought they could hurt my feelings or whatever. But I used it so fast. It's like, honey, I have experience with social media. I wasn't brand new. And I'm not in high school. I was 30 years old, you know. I'm not a child. Like, I can handle it. So I used it very well. And I made a huge point about hypothyroidism. And I basically said that Fat Sapphic Bro was in the hypo haze. And they then confirmed that they had it. And I totally won. It's like, not that it was hard, but because when you're in the hypo haze, you can't think as well. But I don't care. I'm still happy that I won. And, you know, people didn't say anything anymore because, and I think a lot of them, they try to just delete me out of their brains. I don't know if anybody else watches. The only person I think might watch me, I think Victoria might. That's the only one that I have like a feeling. But you guys can let me know if you think any of them watch me. But I'm the albatross. You know, you don't speak of me. I'm the evil one. You don't talk of me. You can't. Because they can't handle it. But I'm like, honey, like, I'm waiting for the day that William makes a video or something. And, oh, honey. Because I have really said a lot about him. And I know some of it has been personal. So it would actually be, like, warranted for him to do it. But, honey, I would be so ready. Like, and that's probably why he won't. because it's like, I'm not, I'm not the cynical dude. I'm not going to be kind of like soft with my response. Like the cynical dude reacted to William and he was really tame. Like I didn't like it. I was like, this is too tame. Like, ew. But honey, I would not necessarily be, I'm just saying. Sorry, I'm getting too into this, but all I'm trying to say is it's not necessarily a bad thing. If Victoria were to make a TikTok about me, I would respond to it immediately. And that's probably why they won't. Because they know that it's not going to hurt me. It's not going to stop me. Their whole goal for doing that would be to try to shut me up. And it's not going to work. Now with them, I don't know. Again, a lot of people use them as an example of floppitude and what not to do and these types of things. And that's basically why people are reacting to you.
We processed it a little bit together, and I think one of the girls said, you're doing something right if you're already having people holler like that.
It's not bad. Like, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, if something gets to be, like, beyond a certain level, or if it's, like, harassment or, stalking or, things like that where it gets to be really toxic, that's when I would be like, oh, my God, that's not okay, and it's like, whoa, what's going on here? This isn't right. That this is happening to you. And I would feel for anybody, even if they were on the opposite side of this issue or whatever. If somebody was being harassed or things like that in a way that was getting, like maybe their private information is being released, like things like that where it's just really toxic, I would feel bad. And I wouldn't like that for that person ever. But somebody responding to your rhetoric, I'm sorry, that's nothing but a good thing, honestly. And as far as social media, and it's not actually like a harm. It just isn't. So I'd be like, okay.
I said, ooh, I like that. I'm going to hold on to it. So I ended up leaving work just to give myself some time and space. I created.
She left work? She did not leave work because of that. I hope that I just interpreted that wrong.
Our page, my little reaction. And I think by Friday morning I had therapy and I talked about it in therapy, and I think by the time I had processed it, I was like, I already gave this man enough time, right? Like, I think what helped me move on so quickly from it was the fact that it was just lies, right? Mm-hmm. Like, even
quickly
down to like the leftovers Maria were carrying in that video. We staged it. She carried all of our leftovers so she could say we're fat girls. Of course we order enough to have leftovers. She carried our leftovers.
Not only that.
Yes, but it's a stereotype, and you guys are playing into a stereotype. Then you're upset that people are mad that you're being stereotypical. It's like, get it together.
What was in the box?
No, I know.
What's in the box?
Right? No, they acted like it was like 3 full meals too, and I'm like, girl, there was.
It doesn't matter. If you're staging something and you're rage baiting, which is what that is, then why are you gonna troll and then be like, oh my God, ah! Like, this isn't giving. You're not a victim. You're not a victim.
One of mine just had some French fries. Like,
literally somebody commented, those aren't leftovers. She's gonna have that for dinner.
That's what leftovers are. They're for later.
I don't think you know how leftovers work.
No, literally though. And then he said about me like that of course I'm learning to honor my hunger cues, and he's like, hunger cues? What do you think? You ate yourself to being this fat. And I just said, Lord, if you knew me and my doctors, they would not agree.
And that's where, like...
Oh my gosh. There's just so much there. We've already established or talked about it a lot in other reactions. I'm going to just move forward here.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but, like, and that's where I I'm struggling even while we're talking through this because we still are feeling like we have to explain ourselves.
Yeah, you're
we
so
have to
right.
explain that we gave
You don't.
all of our leftover
This whole
boxes.
thing is redundant. This is just a show. You didn't have anything else to talk about. You rage baited so that you would have something to talk about. You trolled, somebody responded, and now you're doing a whole episode about it. Like, just stop, please. Like, how dumb do you think we are? Just stop. Oh my God, this is so annoying. That is so annoying. Like, just stop. Oh my gosh.
To explain that when Alyssa said she's
Why do we have to explain it now? You don't. You didn't have to do this episode. Somebody take a gun to your head and tell you have to talk about this? No. You wanted to. You guys are having a blast, except for Maria. She looks bored as hell half the time, which, I mean, it is kind of boring. You guys aren't really talking about anything. You're just like, and then this happened, and like, but like, I don't want to say what actually happened, and this was said, but I don't want to say what actually was said, and and now, and this, and I felt this way, but like not this, and it's just like, that's all you guys are saying. And then again, I kind of agree with Maria about how like, Allie she's going in like this emotional direction on the episode, but then she like changes the lane really fast, and then she tries to change back, and it's like, it's irritating. It's irritating. Like, you're disrupting the flow. You're not good at this, which again, Allie has gotten better. I'm just going to be real. She has. I have to give credit where it's due. She's better at the podcasting at this point, but she wasn't doing well. It's like you're killing the mood with this stuff. So it's boring. It makes it boring.
learning to honor her hunger cues. I'm sorry, trigger warning, but Alyssa is literally in eating. She is truly learning that she has to eat.
Okay, well then should she not, you cannot use that, because if she's that in recovery, then why are you having her on your show? Are you exploiting her then? Who's the victim here? Who's victimizing who? You can't use that. If you already know that, then she shouldn't be on the show. I've said it many times. I don't think it's helping her. You don't get to use that, Allie. That's a reason why she shouldn't be on the show. She shouldn't be there. You shouldn't be supporting her being there. You don't get to use that. Because I hear that and I think, oh, she shouldn't be there then. Why is she on the show then? Why does this make sense for her to be there if she's that sensitive in her recovery? It doesn't. I wouldn't be shocked if this whole thing it's affecting her recovery. If she had to leave work, which I really hope that I didn't hear that correctly. If she had to leave work because she was that upset, she should not be on this. She is not ready.
Needs to eat 3 meals a day. Like, she needs to eat more. And so, but the fact is that it's sad that we're sitting here talking to you guys who we know are not those people, but we're still defending ourselves because we can get riled up by this. This can affect us, and we don't want to sit here and pretend like it can't.
Then don't rage bait.
I have a question.
Yeah.
We definitely have talked about feelings in the response. But what I think I would like to know now that it has happened and we processed as a group last night and we're talking through it now. Did you learn anything from this happening?
Okay. Let's cover this one next time. We'll cover this next time. I'm loving your guys' reactions. I loved it to the first one. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm sure it's going to keep getting worse. I probably will only have like one more part of this, maybe, because they kind of just talk about nothing usually at the end. Unless if I just have a lot to say. Like, I had a lot to say today. I am alpha bus, so it is what it is. But I'm just wondering, like, how you guys are thinking about this, or how do you guys feel about this? Like, let me know. I want to read your comments. I'm really curious about this kind of flop action. Because to me, it's like, I don't understand. Like, it's just a mess. It's just a mess. Like, from a content creation standpoint, it is a mess. This is a disaster. It's trying to go in every single direction at once. As an audience, as somebody who's watching this, I can't follow. I'm like, what are you even trying to say? It's terrible. It's really bad. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think as just a viewer. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.